groovy.
I dream a dream. I should have really become an opera singer. Yoo-hoo! And thanks for tuning in to another cult horror movie review. I decided to take a look at another giallo, and what better director to turn to than Dario Argento? Yes, the king of Italian horror cinema, films full of shocks and thrills and glossy red blood. His movie Opera, also known as Terror at the Opera, is not one of his most famous movies, but that doesn't mean it's bad. In fact, I thought it was good at doing what it sets out to do. But just before we get going, if there's a cult horror movie you would like me to review, leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, let me know your thoughts and feelings on Terror at the Opera. This production really lives up to its title, as a young opera singer named Betty becomes involved in a series of brutal attacks by a masked murderer wearing some kind of big sock on his head. But those murders aren't random. We've got to find out why she's the target and how this all connects to her. The perpetrator is a real savage. Betty is actually never the target of those killings. Every time he appears, he ties Betty up and forces her to wear little metal pins under her eyes. So if she dares to even blink a tiny bit, her eyes are done for. That is a truly terrifying idea. What I noticed about Dario Argento is that his movies aren't always very strong at telling a story in a coherent manner. Sometimes it works better than others. Here, there are a few flaws with the script. The characters are rather shallow, and I won't give away the ending, but I didn't understand it until I went on the internet to find a clear explanation. There are a couple of awkward scenes that come out of nowhere as well, like one for instance where Betty just witnessed a murder, she runs out into the pouring rain, the director of the opera picks her up in his car, and what they start talking about is...
I always jerk off before I should have seen.
Nice. Another flaw, although this is true for a lot of foreign movies of that time, is that the actors were recorded in their native tongue and then the dubbing in English was later added, and sometimes it is really bad. But director Argento is always more bent on bringing style to the table, and most of the time he delivers. While this is no deep red, the camera work is sometimes really impressive, exploring unusual angles and movements. Like that, whoa! My favorite moment in the movie is when the killer shoots his gun from the door hole. I mean, just look at that. You actually see the bullet coming through the door, piercing the woman's skull, and then breaking the telephone behind her. It's just ingenious and really well crafted. Argento also delivers a lot of point of view shots from the killer. He also chose to have heavy metal music playing whenever there's a murder. It's a bit weird and an original choice, but I found it interesting. And of course, a movie of his can't be complete without a generous dose of blood. Argento said that the script took 2 full years to finish, because he had a lot of rewriting to do. The original story was so bloody that no country in the world, apart from Japan, would ever be willing to distribute something like that. Makes you think what it could have been. But still, there's plenty of red to go around. Overall, Opera is a pretty good horror giallo film. Genre fans like myself will be satisfied.